Hello everyone, I'm Ben Wheeler and it is Friday the 7th of November. I'm here in Brisbane, and before we begin I'd like to pay my respects to the Turrbal people, to elders past, present and emerging. We've got a lot coming up on the show today. This week we're going to be joined by 𝗪𝗏, who is a data and AI partner at the AI Consulting Group, who's going to explore how AI is transforming the finance sector. Also on today's show, we're going to look at the new trend of job hugging. So are fewer employees considering a career move? So we're going to dive into that. And we're also going to look at our latest job opportunities across Australia. And lastly, career growth. We're going to be asking, are Australian employers doing enough to develop their staff? So let's get into it. So earlier this year, a survey revealed that a whopping 44% of businesses across Australia, New Zealand and the UK were piloting AI in financial reporting. These numbers highlight how quickly artificial intelligence is moving from concept to practice. To discuss this further, we're going to be joined by 𝗪𝗏, who is a data and AI partner at AI Consulting. Hi 𝗪𝗏, welcome to the show. Appreciate you joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. And before we begin, obviously you're an expert in this space, but keen to understand, how did you find yourself in the world of AI?
Thank you. Great question. So I've always had a background in digital transformation, so helping large organizations to implement digital technologies. I've served organizations such as Deloitte, NZ Bank, and different institutions in Australia. But starting 2024, that's where I think AI is having another round of revolution across all industries. And that's where I got involved and running this AI consulting group as, a data and AI practice. We're really focusing on helping business leaders to find out where the AI opportunities are and how to implement them so they can actually create huge value for their businesses.
And how would you describe the landscape of AI? You mentioned about it's obviously moving quite quickly, and I'm sure your business is very much at the forefront. But what do you see the landscape of AI at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think to be fair, AI has been around for quite a few years, actually many years, maybe a decade. Started from, maybe 10 years ago, it was deep learning, machine learning that was, taking over the headlines. And then there was computer vision, robotic process automation. So there has been a number of, I would say, AI revolution across the industries in finance space. But I would say most recently, it's really generative AI that's taking over the news now. Started from late 2022, where ChatGPT, came into everyone's attention. That's where Gen AI and its capabilities started to, kick in. A lot of firms are now investing into generative AI. And also different models, also kind of combine that with traditional AI so they can create more, more value for their businesses.
And when you say generative AI, could you just explain for some people that might not know what that means, but what that actually means?
Yeah, sure. So if you're familiar with things like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Microsoft Copilot, so that's an example of generative AI. So basically, it's a computer algorithm that allow you to put in what you call prompt or or an instruction, and then it will be able to create some output. So the output could be a text-based output, it could be voice, video, images, right? So a lot of those kind of outputs are possible, and they're all part of Gen AI.
And what do you think some of the big impacts have been so far? So sort of looking back over the last 12 months, I know it's fairly fast moving, but both positive and also quite disruptive as well. What would you say have been the impacts you've seen?
Yeah, look, I think generative AI, since it has landed into everyone's attention in the last 2 years, it has created huge impact. I would say there are a few angles that we can talk about. One is actually around, like you mentioned in your video earlier about, in AI reporting, like in AI assisting finance reporting, whether it's around sustainability or financial reports, because it's so good at generating, summarizing information and, produce them into a structured way. So we can see a lot of companies are using Gen AI in reporting space to automate and even speed up that process of generating reports or creating structured output. So that's one thing. The other thing is with Gen AI is really around a lot of the process automation just to make it more efficient. For example, previously, let's say a team, they may have to manually process, say, invoices, and they have to map out the different fields and in order to capture those data. But Gen AI is so good at understanding those contexts, understanding what is an address, what is a name, for example. So it's really helping to automate a lot of the processes, removing a lot of the manual steps out of the way. So that's another, I would say, a huge opportunity area for a lot of businesses. And thirdly, is really around how Gen AI can combine with some of the traditional AI technology, like computer vision, for example, and then to help the businesses to improve their operational efficiency.
And what would you say to people? There is a bit of fear that's out there around, I'm going to lose my job, going to be replaced. What would you say to people who are sort of thinking that at the moment? What would your advice be?
Look, I think it's a very it is the reality that any form of technology revolution is going to disrupt the job market. So having worked in this space and helping a lot of organizations to go through this process, I have to say, I'll be lying to say that AI will not have an impact on your job. Because on one hand, we have seen a lot of changes. After they implement AI, it is aiming at removing a lot of the manual processes, when automating and taking a lot of manual steps out of the way. So on one hand, it is about basically allowing you to spend less people onto certain processes. So it's going to have impact on people's job. But on the other hand, it also opened up a huge opportunity. If everyone is now looking into how we can apply AI into the business processes or into our organization, that means we're all looking for this kind of talent. So if you are someone who jumped on these new technologies really quickly, really actively try to adopt them into your own work and helping your team to adopt these new tools, finding out the business opportunities using these tools, then you are really a highly sought after talent for your organization or for your industry. So I would say, the impact is always twofold. One fold is do expect disruption, do expect changes to the job landscape. But on the other hand, as an individual, I strongly recommend you to start adopting AI, be an AI champion in your own organization, and try to seize those opportunities to be a leader in this field.
And do you think it impacts a particular traditional function more than, so you might have HR, obviously the accounting side, or sales? Do you think AI has a bigger impact on a particular area?
I think at this stage, a lot of companies are still trying out AI, and there's still some of them are having some early successes, while other businesses are still trying it out and trying to prove out value. So I think I definitely see AI is going to have across the board, it's going to have impact on all business functions. Although at this stage, I would say there are a few functions that has been impacted most heavily. One is actually around coding, like tech. Coding, because you've seen, GitHub Copilot, for example, it's so good at writing code, doing code reviews, etc. So we're seeing huge impact in coding or computer science, engineering related field. Another field is actually around marketing, because AI has been really good at generating content, videos, audios, images, and also even like blog posts, for example. So we are seeing a huge impact into the marketing space already. A lot of businesses are, aiming at creating more content, better advertising or marketing content, but with less people. So that is in the reality already. And apart from that, I think some of the other area that's got really heavily impacted is operations. because every company is looking for opportunity on how we can just be more efficient to be able to kind of reduce a lot of the repetitive manual tasks, so we can deploy people to higher value tasks. So we definitely see a huge impact on operations already, where AI can have a role in automating some of the processes.
And do you see a future where AI is its own function? So you've got maybe accounting, HR, and then AI as its own space, or does it sit in a particular area? Do we know?
I think it really depends on how organizations is gonna adopt this technology, especially generative AI. From what I've seen in the market, they are a lot of companies are putting in a co-pilot into everyone's hand. So everyone's going to have an AI co-pilot or AI assistant, as you call it. That's going to help people to do a lot of the, like, say, writing emails or doing research or finding information really fast. So I think in the future, everyone will be paired with an AI assistant. And on top of that, we're also seeing AI employees. That's where you're going to have AI to take over more of the end-to-end processes. Right. For example, being a junior lawyer, for example, be able to do a lot of research, writing proposals, and creating output. So we're going to see more of those AI employees be able to do end-to-end tasks. Although that is still, I would say, quite early in the space. But that is definitely seeing co-pilot or AI assistant will be in everyone's hand in the next let's say 18 months.
Well, really appreciate your comments. I know it's a space that's really coming to the fore at the moment. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they're looking at their business and what they can do to stay on top of it?
Oh, yeah, sure. So you can find me on LinkedIn, search my name, Ren Song from AI Consulting Group, or can also share about our company's website, where we have a lot of case studies on how executives, business leaders have been creating high value using AI. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me or have a look at those case studies on our website.
Great. Well, we'll definitely share the link. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Job hugging is a new phrase we're hearing a lot about. So job hugging is a few employees looking to leave their role. And there was a recent survey that's come out with some very interesting data around that. So we have found that 18% from this survey of Australian employees are currently considering a career move, down from 23% in the previous quarter. So this is indicating more people are choosing job stability over change. Whilst the move to stay may sound more positive, but there is a risk of stagnation. So 11% of employees feel their skills are already starting to stagnate, and 21% say they hadn't received any training at all in the past year. The remaining 79% of employees have had some training in the last 12 months, but a lot of it has been short-term and compliance-driven. There is a real push for people to be upskilled in things like AI, which obviously a lot of talk about at the moment. Only 20% feel supported in this area, and 44% feel they're not really getting enough to upskill. The cost to employers is clear, with 61% of employees would consider leaving if this doesn't improve. And if it's going to stay around that, we're going to start to see some changes in the new year. If you are looking for latest salary trends, or you want to find out what's happening in the market, you can look at our latest salary guide, our market trends report, and you'll find a link to be able to press that below. So we have a number of roles, a number of opportunities across Australia. If you are interested in any of these opportunities, you can contact our office either via our website, give us a call, or email. Great, that's it everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.